Hello, this is your boy Miguel from the Mobile Mechanic 757. You know, I get down and get straight to the point. Young lady was sending me multiple messages about her Honda Sonata rear brakes. She sent it 2 times to find out what the labor price is. On our website, when we look at warranties and policies, it specifically says we do not supply parts. It literally says that. So anyway, she sends me 2 separate messages on 2 separate days of the total labor for rear brakes and rotors. Gave it to her. Communicated with her on 2 separate platforms. Twice I said it on one platform, then I said it on another platform. I get there and she calls me inside the house, by which I don't like going to people's houses because, you know, it's kind of weird and safety-wise. And she says, I said, do you have the parts? No, I thought that was part of the price. I know I specifically talked to you about that was specifically part of the price. I said, no, ma'am. So she's fumbling through her phone to prove to me that I was incorrect. But I have the text. I have the 2 platforms that I articulated you on. And before I even got there, I have a very good judge of character. If I meet you in your texting is just sort of on the annoying side, that you just keep asking questions that's already been asked and just asking to be an extra, I know exactly what I'm going to walk into. So with that being said, she's fumbling around with her phone trying to prove me that I was incorrect, and I show her and she's ignoring what I showed her. It's literally saying I only do parts, you got to supply the parts, and I only do the labor. And then she kept saying, well, the shop said I need a quiet box. Ma'am, there is no such thing as a quiet box on brakes. There's quiet things on brakes, but not quiet boxes. She's still arguing, trying to show me what a shop shows. And I'm like, why am I here, man? You're just not listening to me. Then she starts to get on the phone, calling different ways. She said, this is just ridiculous. I thought it was part of the parts. Well, let me call around. So I walked out. I said, man, when you figure out what you want to do, please go let me know. So I'm sitting in the car for about 5 minutes, ready to take off and just go ahead and delete and block her. She says she's calling around at shops. I said, shops? She said, I mean the auto parts store where I go at. Then she says she has to order the parts. So I went behind her and called, and they said they had the parts. But she says she has to order them. I drove off. With that being said, I've been doing this since 1992. I started off in the military, and now I'm in the civilian sector. Oh, I forgot. She said, most places only charge $60. I said, well, you can go to those places to charge $60. I'm a business. I'm not doing anything for $60. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to touch your vehicle for $95. And she says, what do you mean? I said, when you buy a pizza, it's $5 to $6. But when you actually have it to deliver it, it's about $14. This is convenience. And I'm not doing nothing for $60 and include that into the parts that you want to buy. I drove off. With that being said, have some value for yourself. Have some dignity and respect. Know your worth. You've been doing this a long time. Why would you want to go run to some breadcrumbs? No. My value's too high for that. Not going to do it. And then I come back and here we go again with something else. With that being said, have some dignity and value of yourself. Don't accept no customers like that. They're just going to be nothing but problems, because she wouldn't even allow me to speak whatsoever, and I'm showing her the evidence. She's ignoring it. She's taking her time making phone calls, lying that she says the parts have to be ordered. No, they weren't. They were very repetitive, valuable. And she was talking about she's so anal with her time, and she tells me she's getting some tires in the very beginning, and it's not going to be done at 10:30. This is text. Then the day of the appointment, which is April 12th, the day of the appointment, she tells me, I already told you I'm going to be done around 8 o'clock. No, you didn't. I sent her a screenshot of her own text letting her know that you said you're not going to be available to 10:30. And she's arguing me via text. So all these red flags. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm not upset. I'm just not going to put up with that kind of behavior. I'm not going to have that kind of customer. I have value. That's not it. No breadcrumbs. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.